On the spot news media, we got the latest news. We don't care about the views, we just representing right. Put local news internationally every night. On the spot, wave that Jamaican flag from left to right. Let's get it right, y'all know the type. We ain't dealing with the hype, we make it take flight.
Yeah, man, my viewers and subscribers, what go on. A blessed and wonderful Wednesday evening to each and every person out there tuning into On The Spot News Media. Now, my peeps, I have a few stories to share with you, the regular members of Chan Public, and also members of the diaspora. So please, like the video, share the video, watch the entire vlog, so you can get a full understanding and a better appreciation of everything we are going in Jamaica. So watch this now, my peeps. We're going to kick it off with a list of all dirty kind of boy that is indeed wanted by members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. So we're going to start off with this whole dirty kind of boy from out Canterbury in Mobay, St. James. Now, he has been identified by his name as Shane Morgan, but more popularly known in the criminal underworld as OK. Now, this whole dirty kind of boy, this criminal element here, is wanted for a series of knockings and clappings that has resulted in the loss of life of some people. Now, Shane Morgan, aka OK, has been seen in several different communities in the parish of St. James. He frequents the Upper King Street area. He also frequents Canterbury and also Portobello in St. James. Now, anyone having any information as to the whereabouts of this criminal element is to link up the squad of them. Yeah, man. Now, the next dirty kind of boy presently on your screen, who is presently wanted by the police, has since been identified as Omai Romain Largy, otherwise known as Not Nice. As the name suggests, trust me, Not Nice is definitely not nice, as he's wanted for several knockings and clappings resulting in the loss of life of some people. He's said to frequent Top Hill, Mount Pelier and Mount Carey in the parish of St. James. Now, the next criminal element presently on your screen is definitely no stranger to the police and definitely no stranger to On The Spot News Media, as he has been featured on this channel frequent enough. Now, this man has since been identified as Kenroy Roach, aka Tickaweed. Yeah, man. Now, this is him in one photo and this is him in another. So he has two basically different type of look. One you can see is a darker version and one is a browner version. Now, anyone having any information as it relates to this man here, link up the squad of them. The next criminal element here presently on your screen, who has been identified as Keston Bertrand, is most definitely wanted by the police. Now, Keston Bertrand is more popularly known in the criminal underworld as Cass or Trini or Pablo. He's wanted for a series of knockings and clappings resulting in the loss of life of some people. He frequents the Hampton district mostly in the parish of St. James. Now, the next man here presently on your screen, last but definitely not the least, you see him favor a cartoon character. Yeah, man. Now, this brother has since been identified as Ricardo Pusey. I featured this man several times on the Spot News Media also. He's popularly known as Rick in the criminal underworld. Now, this brother is wanted for knockings and clappings that has resulted in the loss of life of some people. He frequents farmites. He frequents the general Montego Bay space and surrounding areas in the St. James parish. This brother is a dangerous youth and must be approached with caution, And if any one of these criminal elements is seen by any one of you, the regular members of Chan Public out there, please alert your nearest police station and give them the information. And as always, if you not trust the squad of them, link on the Spot News Media or any like-minded vlogger, furnish us with the information and we will most definitely pass it on to the relevant authorities who can make effective change. Yeah, man. So watch this now, my peeps. Make a kick off the crime stories, and still in the parish of St. James. Unconfirmed reports suggest that the Western Union, that's along the Jarrett Street area of Montego Bay, St. James, was not too long ago held up and robbed by criminal elements. Now, as I stated, unconfirmed reports. So on the Spot News Media will most definitely make some checks into those allegations and get back to you in subsequent newscast. Now over there in the parish of Westmoreland, the Westmoreland Police Division is presently investigating the knockings and clappings that has resulted in the loss of life of a motorcyclist. So a Westmoreland farmer, presently on your screen, was taken out in a hail of bullets whilst riding his motorcycle with his girlfriend on board at 3 Miles River in Frome on Tuesday night. The deceased man, presently on your screen, has since been identified as 39-year-old Dwayne Mobay, otherwise known as Sojin of the Streets. He's said to be of a Belmont district address in the parish of Westmoreland. Now, reports reaching on the Spot News Media is that sometime about 9:10 p.m., Dwayne Mobay was traveling on his motorcycle along with his girlfriend along at the Grandpa Scheme Lane when he was pounced upon by a lone gunman heavily armed who opened gunfire, hitting him in the upper body before fleeing. The police were summoned by persons on the spot, and upon their arrival, Dwayne Mobay was seen laying on his back in a pool of red substance leaking from his upper body and head. It is said that he was transported by the police to the hospital in a bid to save his life, but upon their arrival, he was pronounced, you know what. Yeah, man. Now the knackies and clappies them, name the man food, broke the plate. We don't know why them come for him, but we're going to do some digging and see what we can come up with and furnish you with whatsoever we get as it relates to his knockings and clappings in subsequent newscast. Now over there in the parish of Clarendon, homicide detectives are working to establish a motive for the knockings and clappings of a Canadian man whose bullet-riddled body was found in Salt River, Clarendon, Tuesday morning. The partially decomposed body of 43-year-old Merrick Aries was found in bushes about 9:30 a.m. Merrick Aries, who is also a resident of Paddington Terrace and Canada, arrived in the island on October 14th at the Sangsters International Airport in St. James. He was scheduled to leave the island on October 30. Investigators theorized that Mr. Aries was lured into an area in Clarendon where he was robbed and fatally taken out in a hail of bullets. He rented a motor car, and his rented motor car was also found on the scene. Investigators stated that the area is known to be used by criminal elements to carry out drug activities and acts of violence and criminality. Now over there in the St. Andrew Central Police Division, the St. Andrew Central Police is presently investigating a knife murder. Yeah, man, may I tell you, where a 55-year-old United States resident get knife up, losing her 3 pints, and her 35-year-old son taken into police custody following the incident along Wavell Avenue in St. Andrew on Monday morning. Now, the deceased woman has since been identified as Marvel Johnson. She's of a Northwest 30th Street in Lauder Lake in Florida. Now, on the Spot News Media understands that a knife was believed to be the weapon of choice. The knife was seized also by the police. The suspect is said to be a Mason, her son, from a Red Hills Road address. Now it is reported by the police that sometime around 7:20 a.m., Miss Johnston, who returned to the island recently from the United States of America, went to Wavell Avenue to look for relatives and to basically treat her son. While the now deceased was inside of one of the bedrooms, it is alleged that she was attacked with a knife and repeatedly knifed up multiple times all over her body by her son. Relatives reportedly stated that they heard her crying for help and went to her assistance and pulled the suspect away before calling the police. It is said that Miss Johnson was assisted to the Kingston Public Hospital where she was pronounced you know what whilst undergoing treatment. The son was detained by the police following the incident. What a wicked and brutal and cruel act. What could a mother do to a son to deserve such a treatment? The relative stated that she came to their house along Wavell Avenue to visit them and to put on a treat for her son. What could have gone so wrong for him to use a knife and repeatedly shove it in her own mother, causing her now to be laying on a block of ice, and he's presently behind bars? Utter madness. Yeah, telling you, my peeps, it coming like dopey dip on some of them young man here. It's recently I spoke about one in Westmoreland who faked his own kidnapping to get monies from his mother. And I advised his mother to stay far, far from that child. And I never said you are not supposed to love your son. But sometimes in these circumstances, mothers, you have to love them from a distance. Yeah, man. I wish this mother would have seen it coming and stayed in America and love her son from a safe distance. She would still be alive today. So parents, don't take it for granted. If you are suspicious of your son to be mentally challenged, not saying that this is the case, or if your sons and daughters are mixed up in criminal activities, if they're friends with some dangerous man, if they're harboring criminals, I'm not saying for you to turn your back or hate your child. Speak to them, try to encourage them, but make sure you maintain that safety distance, because wherever they go, death and destruction follow. So you may lose your life, not necessarily from the hands of your child, but from their criminal associates. And in many cases, you can also lose your life by the hands of the very child that you gave life. Yeah, man. So anyway, remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned to On The Spot News Media as I continue to bring you fresh news and updates in subsequent newscast. On The Spot News Media. Yeah, man.